As Xiao Yan's frenzied voice rang out, the sky suddenly erupted as the power of the thunderous, heavenly tribulation transformed into blazing flames with an intensely scorching temperature. Within the tribulation dragon, something strange flickered to life. The dragon wasn't just infused with the earthy yellow sacred flame. It also contained Xiao Yan's complex fusion of 23 different heavenly flames, forming the imperial flame. The explosive power of so many flames within the tribulation dragon was nothing short of earth-shattering. What is that? Before long, Wang Xie and Gu and I were taken aback by the sudden turn of events, staring in shock at the sky's upheaval. This fluctuation, a millennia-old natural treasure undergoing tribulation. Wang Xie's eyes were razor-sharp, instantly uncovering the secret. Impossible, Gu and I responded, skeptical. I read about it in ancient texts. It can't be wrong. A millennia-old treasure is akin to some miraculous elixirs that can even bring back the dead. If obtained, it might. Wang Xie spoke, a sliver of greed edging into his voice. Don't celebrate too soon. Xiao Yan and his group are within a barrier, and this barrier is somewhat intertwined with the tribulation's power. I fear. Gu and I warned cautiously. We're just... Wang Xie laughed immediately upon hearing this. Truly devious, but I like it. Gu and I echoed, revealing a similarly cunning smile. Xiao Yan, no matter how strong, is but one person. And with the two of them being at the 7-star Do D level, they certainly aren't afraid of him. Wouldn't it be delightful to swoop in like a fisherman and reap the benefits? What terrifying power. It's Xiao Yan's flame. Mu Feng and the others were also making their way towards Xiao Yan's group, but given the vastness of the medicine garden, there was no way they could arrive immediately. However, upon seeing the bizarre tribulation and flames in the sky, the expressions of the two women, Wu Du and Lin Zhu, changed slightly. So powerful. That was the first thought in their minds. They hailed from the poison sect and were naturally knowledgeable about the fluctuations when natural treasures undergo tribulation. Yet Xiao Yan, with his perfect 6-star Do D strength, was risking himself to help another through their tribulation. It was practically suicidal. Let's go. With no more hesitation, Wu Du sped up, fearing delays could spell disaster, as the three rapidly increased their pace. Meanwhile, Xiao Qi, noticing the disturbance above, felt her heart sink entirely. Xiao Yan, if something happens to you, Ru, I swear I'll bring chaos to your incense pavilion. Xiao Qi's speed surged as she spoke, clearly sensing something ominous from the tribulation and flames. Given that Ru was with Xiao Yan, such a chaotic scene meant she would likely be affected. Although Ru possessed the inheritance rune, her own strength was only at the perfect 5-star Do D level. She might struggle against a force that even half-step Do Xian experts could barely contend with. Boom, boom, boom. In the heavens, with Xiao Yan's fierce shout, the tribulation dragon's eyes suddenly filled with terror. The next moment, a fiery ripple, like an atomic explosion, emanated from the dragon, using it as the center. Xiao Yan, you're so powerful. Ru and Mu Ying, though within the barrier, could distinctly feel the immense power radiating from the explosion. Boom, boom, boom. The tribulation dragon instantly disintegrated into countless destructive flames across the sky. The terrifying ripples caused the space above the medicine garden to slightly collapse, leaving the air reeking of death. Good lad, remarked Tian Wangshan with a smile. Destroying the tribulation dragon was the first step. What remained was to withstand the terrifying aftermath, thus perfectly concluding the tribulation process. Golden Demon Puppet. Despite his exhaustion, Xiao Yan couldn't afford a respite. Urgency fueled his shout as he realized the situation, knowing all would be lost if they couldn't counter the devastating force. Absorb it! Yelled Xiao Yan, as the dazzling fiery ripples from the tribulation surged toward the golden demon puppet. The puppet's eyes grew intensely focused, even with the tribulation's power diminished by Tian Wangshan. Absorbing it was formidable. Not long after, the golden demon puppet was engulfed in swirling flames that transformed into a deep, mesmerizing vortex, sucking in every bit of the tribulation force. Bang! 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 As the silver tribulation force was absorbed, strands of golden brilliance emanated from the puppet's body, persistently resisting the silver force. You've got to hold on. At this moment, the golden demon puppet had transformed into a magnificent vortex, continuously absorbing the power of the heavenly tribulation. As it absorbed this formidable energy, Xiao Yin could vaguely sense that the golden demon puppet's strength was also steadily increasing. Gulp! A few moments later, the golden body of the golden demon puppet began to become slightly transparent, and its muscles bulged as if they might rupture at any moment. Xiao Yin realized that the puppet had reached its absorption limit and, if it continued, it might come back. Xiao Yin hesitated for a moment before speaking. Knowing that the golden demon puppet had reached its limits, Xiao Yin prepared to rely on his own strength and was ready to unleash the power of the sacred flame. However, a message unexpectedly resonated from within the puppet. I can. These simple words took Xiao Yin by surprise. They didn't originate from the puppet itself, but seemed to emerge from its golden eyes. Based on Xiao Yin's understanding of the puppet, these three words were unmistakable. Inhale. In no time, the holy flame in the golden demon puppet exploded again, and against the overwhelming power of the heavenly tribulation, the puppet absorbed everything under the sacred flame's guidance. Wow! Xiao Yin couldn't help but be amazed as he watched. Swish, swish. After absorbing all the tribulation's power, the golden body of the puppet was faintly covered with layers of black and white. The black connected to the death force absorbed from the life and death dual spring, while the white was clearly the power of the heavenly tribulation. Thank you. As the power of the tribulation was completely nullified, the heavenly King Ginseng's body emitted a radiant light. Suddenly, a colorful lightning bolt descended from the sky, piercing the clouds before disappearing into its milky human form. In the next moment, that milky form began to solidify, eventually transforming completely into a human man. At the same time, the soul of the heavenly King Ginseng detached from its herb form, becoming a genuine human. A subtle white pattern formed on its original body, signifying the crossing of 10 millennia. It's successful, Mu Yingying said softly, watching the unfolding scene. Successful? Yuru and Mu Yingying couldn't hide their surprise and quickly turned to Xiao Yin above. Xiao Yan's actions had tugged at both their hearts, especially when he harnessed the tribulation's energy. They were worried to the point of panic. But gratefully, no danger arose, or else they would have intervened at any cost. Thank you. The human-formed heavenly King Ginseng clasped his hands towards Xiao Yin in gratitude, though the gesture was awkward, clearly still in use to his new body. As promised, here's your reward. Without hesitation, the heavenly King Ginseng tossed his original body to Xiao Yin. He understood that without Xiao Yan's intervention, he might have perished in that final heavenly tribulation. Got it. Xiao Yin accepted the heavenly King Ginseng with no delay. As he held it, a unique energy emanated from it, surprising even someone as powerful as Xiao Yin. Now that the issue of the heavenly King Ginseng is resolved, there's only one last ingredient needed to revive the ancestors, Xiao Yin thought to himself, carefully putting away the ginseng. The azure dragon dew. But that will be tricky, he mused. From what he knew, the azure dragon dew wouldn't be found in the human world. It would be foolish for him to seek it in the dragon clan's territory. Their strength was overwhelming, and his search there could mean certain death. We should descend for now. Our activities have probably attracted some unwanted attention, said the heavenly King Ginseng. You're now considered a real human, Xiao Yin remarked with a smile as they descended into the barrier together. Indeed, the heavenly King Ginseng replied, albeit with excitement tinged in his voice despite his reduced power after transitioning from the pinnacle of Do Di to an early one-star Do Di. He knew survival was impossible beyond this initial tribulation had he not embraced humanity. Congratulations, said Yuru. But as a human, you'll need a proper name instead of being called Heavenly King Ginseng all the time, she added with a light laugh. Ha ha ha, the man chuckled. Indeed. Let me think. My true form was the Heavenly King Ginseng, but now I've reincarnated as a human, omitting the king from my name. Heavenly King Ginseng chuckled. That's fine. From now on, We'll call you Tian Shun, Xiao said with a smile as he heard this. Agreed, Tian Shun replied happily with a beaming smile. By transforming into a human, he could finally appreciate the wonders of the human world without constantly worrying about heavenly tribulations. Is your puppet all right? Not long after, Tian Shun suddenly asked. It's fine, Xiao responded calmly. That's good to hear. Tian Shun felt relieved upon hearing Xiao reassurance, aware of the immense cost of creating powerful puppets. If there were any losses, Tian Shun would naturally compensate Xiao. Since the business in the medicine garden is concluded, we should gather the others and head to the Purple Crystal Palace first. That's our ultimate destination, Xiao said with a grin. The Purple Crystal Palace, huh? While I'm familiar with some of the things inside, my current weakened state means I'll have to rely on you all, Tian Shun cautioned, his voice tinged with trepidation at the mention of the palace, an eerie place even one of Tian Shun's caliber feared. Xiao acknowledged, having been aware of Tian Shun's condition. This barrier is quite sturdy, Xiao joked, discovering that he couldn't break through it with his strength. Meanwhile, Xiao sensed two others still outside the Naiwan Palace. His essence core at the palace continuously emitted strands of mental power, evidently setting something in motion. Heh, this will unlock it, Tian Shun said with a grin. With a single command from Tian Shun, the barrier dissolved, revealing Xiao and his companions. Let's go, Xiao said, but he quickly noticed two figures darting like the wind. Heh, Xiao, don't be in such a rush, they called. That recent fluctuation seemed to be from a millennium-old spiritual item undergoing tribulation. Did you see anything, Brother Xiao? Wang Xie and Kuni appeared and blocked Xiao path. Members of Solomon and the myriad poison sect? Yu Ru remarked, taken aback, as the presence of these two formidable powers intimidated her. Kuni had reached the early 7-star Do D level, and Solomon was known for his discreet behavior, making them tough adversaries. The myriad poison sect strategies were notoriously unpredictable, and Wang Xie had also achieved the mid-7-star Do D level, an intimidating duo that provoked Yuru's fear. So you couldn't resist revealing yourselves? Xiao said in a calm, knowing tone, having long sensed their presence. You knew from the start? Kuni asked incredulously. Since you entered the medicine garden, Xiao replied with a measured smile. And knowing changes what? Separated from the poison sect and myriad flowers pavilion, even your strength can't save you from calamity today, Wang Xie sneered, his mid-7-star Do D prowess leaving him confident against Xiao 6-star Do D perfect strength. True enough. But if I claim I intentionally split up with them just to lure you out, you probably wouldn't believe me, Xiao said with a sly smile, a hint of danger in his eyes. Ha ha ha. Xiao, I respect you as a man, but aren't you afraid of biting your tongue with such talk? With your 6-star Do D perfect level, dragging two burdens along, how can you hope to contend with us? We are not to be underestimated, Wang Xie laughed. That's a given. Solomon and the myriad poison sect's elite disciples aren't ordinary folks. But you've underestimated me, Xiao finished, and all of a sudden, the surrounding space shimmered imperceptibly, wrapping everyone in an intense, invisible wave of heat. A formation? Wang Xie's eyes widened in realization. They've vanished. Kuni became alert, scanning their surroundings, noting the landscape had drastically changed. We're trapped in Xiao formation now. Damn it. I overlooked that the mystic Three Heavens top battle array master hails from their incense pavilion, Wang Xie said. He and Kuni both grew vigilant as the formation brimmed with dangerous fiery energy. Xiao sure has guts, Wang Xie and Kuni remarked, finding themselves ensnared within Xiao fiery formation. As the most promising talent in Incense Pavilion in millennia, he must have his pride, Kuni commented. Now, let's figure out how to break this formation, Kuni suggested. I'm clueless about formations, so I can't be of much help. The array is actually simple. It functions like a small domain. Once you destroy its core, the whole thing will collapse on its own, Kuni remarked with a smile. The core of the array? Wang Xie inquired, puzzled. Where is that thing, exactly? Wang Xie asked. Let me find it, Gunny replied. His body began to shimmer with a blue-green life force as he started to explore the scorching space. Wang Xie and Gunny found themselves within a space shaped by a formation, conjured by Xiao using the Divine Motion True Essence Core runes. The formation, known as the Twin Dragon Flame Array, was secretly given to Xiao by Zhu Jing before his departure. Don't underestimate this array. Just by its grade alone, it had the power to trap even a 7-star Do D. Furthermore, the flames utilized by Xiao were incredibly formidable, likely posing a serious challenge to even the most powerful 7-star Do D. Suddenly, Wang Xie noticed something in the distance, a flicker, a flame, but quickly realized it was not just any flame. It was a magnificent fire dragon. The dragon's entire form was enveloped in dazzling colors. If one were to count carefully, they'd find it comprised 23 different hues. This fire dragon was brought into existence by Xiao imperial flame. Come back here. Wang Xie couldn't help but shout to Gunny, who was already exploring the surroundings. For some inexplicable reason, Wang Xie felt an indistinct sense of danger emanating from the fire dragon. The oppressive feeling was intense, to the point where even breathing felt labored. What's going on? Gunny stopped in his tracks, startled by Wang Xie's exclamation. He frowned, turning back to Wang Xie for an explanation. There's something ahead of you. Wang Xie shouted urgently. Wang Xie watched as Gunny failed to notice the fire dragon. Unable to restrain himself any longer, he infused his attack with his brilliant life force, launching it toward Gunny's position. Focused on finding the core of the array, Gunny was oblivious to the fire dragon's presence. Seeing only Wang Xie's attack seemingly aimed at him, Gunny fumed with rage. You traitorous scum, Wang Xie. No sooner had he said this than a blistering wave of heat surged from behind him. Boom, boom, boom. Wang Xie's brilliant life force collided with the dazzling fire dragon, but it remained unscathed. The dragon simply turned away, unwilling to continue the stalemate with Wang Xie. Although the fire dragon swiftly vanished, both Gunny and Wang Xie were left feeling thoroughly frustrated. This array is quite formidable. I don't even know where that fire dragon came from or where it went after our clash, Wang Xie remarked warily. His intuition told him that this array was anything but simple. This must be an alternate dimension, and that fire dragon is likely its true lethal weapon, Gunny speculated. Watch out, he added, as the splendid fire dragon reappeared from an unknown location and rushed towards them. Cursed! Damn Xiao. Can't he just come out and fight properly? Wang Xie cursed, feeling exasperated by Xiao ploys. These two are indeed powerful adversaries, Xiao mused, sitting cross-legged in the medicine garden. Before him, an array scroll flickered softly, and within the scroll, Gunny and Wang Xie could be seen. A skilled battle array master could indeed imprison opponents in array scrolls, or even certain murals, using their spiritual power to inscribe runes capable of sealing or entrapping individuals. These two have been exceptionally outstanding disciples of Solomon and the myriad poison sect in recent years, so their strength is undoubtedly formidable, Yu commented softly. Will he be able to handle them? Mu Yingying, concerned, asked. Xiao had just weathered the power of the heavenly tribulation, and now he faced two 7-star Do level opponents. It seemed a daunting task. Trust him, they both agreed, realizing there was little else they could do at the moment. This guy's luck with the ladies is really something, Tianshan chuckled gently, knowing he was powerless as an early 1-star Do D. Still, he was aware of the feelings the two women harbored for Xiao. It's about time. Let me face you both, Xiao murmured. Suddenly, his figure vanished and reappeared within the scroll's array. Xiao, you dare show yourself? Prepare to die. Poisonous in hand. Wang Xie, filled with anger, immediately struck at Xiao with his lethal, poison-laden palm. The poison-laden hand carried a terrifying and overwhelming aura, crashing into Xiao within the array. Yet, just as Wang Xie prepared to laugh triumphantly, Xiao figure transformed into an earthen yellow fiery dragon, its menacing jaws consuming the poison entirely. Why the rush? Xiao Yan asked as soon as he appeared. The array was formed from Xiao Yan's intrinsic core runes, making him nearly invincible within its bounds, granting him total freedom of movement. Xiao Yan, Wang Xie said through gritted teeth, frustrated by the failure of his attack. No, Gu and I interjected, shaking his head at Wang Xie, who then fell silent. I didn't expect you to be such a master of arrays, Gu and I said to Xiao Yan with a smile. So perhaps I believe now that you killed Qi Haoran, Gu and I continued. What are you trying to say? Xiao Yan found Guni's antics amusing. Did Gu and I think he was out of his depth? How about this? We join forces? You'll get the Jiao Yu Fairy's heritage, and we just want the battle soul. Gu and I proposed directly to Xiao Yan. Join forces? Xiao Yan replied nonchalantly, yet with an unmistakable air of arrogance. I have no desire to conspire with the tiger, and I'm not about to hand over the battle soul. Then, you leave us no choice. Wang Xie, attack. At Guni's command, a mysterious life force surged through him, and he lunged at the two-headed flame dragon beside Xiao Yan. You think my array is that easy to break? You're gravely mistaken. Xiao Yan scoffed, stepping back slightly. The twin fire dragons charged at Gu and I and Wang Xie. Their immense power something even a strong mid-7-star Do Di would hesitate to face head-on. Boom, boom, boom. A high-level life force of the 8th grade burst from both adversaries, with Wang wielding thunder and Gu and I manipulating water, elements that naturally oppose the fire dragons. I didn't expect these two to possess 8th grade life force, Xiao Yan mused, standing behind the fire dragons. If not for that, this twin dragon flame formation would wear them out single-handedly. Extinguishing Heart Finger. Poisonous Shadow Hand. Guni's Azure Life Force and Wang Xie's brilliant Silver Thunder Force launched terrifying attacks at the fire dragons. Roar, roar, roar. Xiao Yan's conjured dragons were no ordinary creatures. One embodied the imperial flame and the other the sacred flame. They wouldn't be so easily destroyed. What formidable dragons, Gu and I mumbled as he faced the dazzling imperial flame dragon. Even with his early 7-star Do Di strength combined with 8th grade life force, his attack barely discolored the dragon, leaving him perplexed. What's the link between this array, the dragons, and Xiao Yan? These dragons are strong, yet whenever I target Xiao Yan, they intercept? What a puzzling situation, Gu and I pondered. Stop standing there and attack. Wang Xie persistently assaulted the earth-toned dragon, but to his annoyance, his attacks were absorbed as if into an endless abyss, only strengthening the dragon. It's surprising how the core runes of a battle array master, combined with my imperial and sacred flame powers, elevate this twin dragon flame formation to a higher level. It can easily stall two mid-7-star Do Di fighters, Xiao Yan chuckled softly. Attack. Though inwardly pleased, Xiao Yan's offensive didn't pause. Fierce flaming strikes erupted from the dragons, bombarding Gu and I and Wang Xie in a space made even hotter by the array, leaving them desperate. We can't keep this up. This space seems to be sapping our strength, much like these dragons. If this continues, we're at a disadvantage. One final strike. If it succeeds, we eliminate Xiao Yan. If it fails, we retreat. Gu and I, laden with uncertainty, transmitted the plan to Wang Xie. Gu and I recognized that now wasn't the time to wage an all-out war with Xiao Yan. For the battle soul and the inheritance, a reckless fight was unnecessary. Got it. Wang Xie agreed without hesitation, aware of the greater pressure from the sacred flame dragon. Take this. Poison Flower Burial. Boom, boom, boom. In the next moment, the space around Wang Xie shimmered with a dazzling green aura. Like the bloom of a flower, it shot upwards and then exploded violently, unleashing streams of lethal poison that surged towards the two fire dragons. The dragons, seemingly provoked, let out a menacing roar directed at the arrayed space. Break it! Both Guni and Wang Xie narrowed their eyes, unleashing a destructive energy that struck the dragons head-on. Although the seemingly terrifying poison struck, the two fire dragons acted as if unfazed. However, the next moment, a furious roar tore through the spatial barrier. What kind of flame is this? It's burning my life force. My life force is being suppressed by these flames too, exclaimed Gunny and Wang Xia, finding themselves enveloped by an earthen yellow sacred flame that unexpectedly weakened their strength. Let it explode, Xiao Yan said casually with a smile. As soon as Xiao Yan's calm words landed, Gunny and Wang Xia's faces changed drastically. They sensed a dangerous aura from the two fire dragons, especially a destructive wave from the earthen yellow dragon, compelling them to act without hesitation. No, we must leave. The two exchanged glances and promptly retrieved a refined scroll of runes from their storage rings, breaking it without delay. Whoosh! Whoosh! In an instant, their figures vanished from the array space as quickly as they had acted. Those two didn't hesitate to use such a precious spatial scroll just to escape. Xiaoyan remarked, shaking his head. With a casual wave of his hand, the two fire dragons disappeared, restoring calm to the array space once more. Did they get away? Mu Yingying asked upon noticing only Xiao Yan's presence within the space. It seems they used a spatial scroll to escape, Tian Kan commented softly. Spatial scroll? Mu Yingying was puzzled. It's something that can be used for short-distance teleportation, but only spatial experts can craft them. Though available on the market, they are quite costly, Yuru explained. Are you all right? The two women immediately checked on Xiao Yan upon his return. I'm fine, let's move on, Xiao Yan replied, collecting the array scroll. The effectiveness of this scroll had been beyond his expectations, able to trap two formidable opponents at once. Xiao Yan, are you all right? Xiao Qi and his group appeared just as Xiao Yan's group was about to leave. Xiao Qi, upon seeing Yuru, embraced her, checking for any harm and relaxing slightly, though his eyes still shot daggers at Xiao Yan. The 5 poisons have returned as well, Xiao Yan called out to those approaching, waving in greetings to the members of the 5 poison sect. Are you all right? Xiao Yan asked, directing his question towards the 5 poisons, who were also in the medicine garden seeking a cure for the woeful poison body. We're fine, let's proceed. The most thrilling part of the relic awaits us. One of the 5 poisons replied with a slow smile. All right, let's go. Xiao Yan took a last nostalgic look at the medicine garden, knowing those rare medicinal herbs were not easily found elsewhere. With renewed determination, he led the group towards the Crystal Palace. As the others followed suit, Xiao Yan's group advanced further towards the majestic structure. However, unbeknownst to them, someone had already entered the palace ahead. At the highest point on Guanghan Island, numerous individuals gathered in front of the purple crystal palace. What's going on? Why aren't you going inside? If you're not going in, don't block the way, remarked a man dismissively. Those who managed to reach the final inheritance site on Guanghan Island, naturally, possessed significant prowess. Don't be clueless. Do you even know what's inside? If you wish to throw your life away by entering, we won't stop you, retorted a young woman indignantly. Chinner, don't make a fuss, Song Yu interjected, stepping forward. It's the people from the Wanjian sect. That was a close call. While others didn't recognize Hong Qian, Song Yu was renowned, known for his exceptional talent and temperament among the disciples of major sects. Senior brother Song, isn't there a relic inheritance within the Purple Crystal Palace? Why haven't you gone in? A deep voice soon resonated. The speaker was none other than Feng Hong. Feng Hong, you guys have come at the right time, Song Yu said with obvious relief. What's the matter? Asked Feng Hong, noting Song Yu's expression and sensing something amiss. Now that we've arrived here, we've discovered some rather unusual things, Song Yu began, breaking the eerie silence. Unusual things? Feng Hong echoed, a shiver running through his sturdy frame. The palace doors appear to have been opened, Song Yu noted, his gaze shifting towards the grand entrance not far from them, which indeed stood ajar. It seems someone did venture inside, but his voice trailed off. But they've all perished, Song Yu concluded, gesturing towards several lifeless bodies beside him. Perished? Muffled gasps rippled through the crowd as Ming Fei from Pill Valley, accompanied by his young assistant, stepped forward. I'm an alchemist. Let me take a look, Ming Fei declared, striding past the throng towards the bodies. What happened? Feng Hong pondered the possibility of inspecting the corpses with Du Chun, but realizing that their ancient desolation palace was adept in physical cultivation rather than arcane mysteries, he yielded to Meng Fei's expertise. After all, an alchemist might hold some answers. I have no idea, Song Yu admitted with a shake of his head. No idea? How did these individuals meet their end? Feng Hong's curiosity deepened. That's just it. We can't determine their cause of death, which is why no one dares to step inside the palace, Song Yu explained. What we do know is that they opened the palace doors and ventured in, only to be hurled back out shortly after. Spooky, Du Chun muttered, clearly unsettled. The mysterious purple crystal palace promised the richest treasure of the ruins, yet the group found themselves stranded at the threshold. Strange indeed, mused Hua Lixin of the puppet mansion, stepping closer with intrigue. No external wounds, and their souls and Do Qi remain intact, yet there's no sign of life. How could they have died? Meng Fei puzzled over the enigma after examining the corpses, unaware that a nearly invisible, tiny mark lay over each victim's heart. What's going on here? We didn't come all this way just to leave empty-handed, did we? I don't think so. I can't accept it, whispers rustled through the group. As confusion swirled, a middle-aged man appeared, studying the scene. The palace doors are open? Fools, the real treasure lies within the palace. Since you're too afraid, I'll go first, he announced boldly before darting towards the purple crystal palace. The lure of treasures within claimed his mind, filling him with excitement. None in the crowd moved to stop him, unsure of the mysteries or the fate of those who had tried before. Glug! As he stepped across the threshold, the grand palace doors closed behind him. A minute passed, then 2, then 5. Not a sound emerged from the palace. Why is he unharmed? Hua Lixin queried, perplexed. Wasn't everyone who entered said to have mysteriously died? How had this newcomer survived? If he remained safe, the treasures could fall into his hands. Don't look at me. I know nothing. Song Yu shrugged off the accusing stares of those around him. Suddenly, a shriek tore through the air. The palace doors cracked open just enough to eject the middle-aged man's body. And then, the group's thoughts crumbled into confusion as he was sprawled on the ground before them. Catch him! Meng Fei shouted, his alchemical instincts kicking in. Feng ran. Meng Fei's quick-footed assistant leaped forward and caught the fallen man. Bring him here, Meng Fei instructed gravely, realizing the palace, though full of treasures, was equally fraught with peril. What was that scream about? Meng Fei wondered aloud, surveying the still warm body that showed no sign of life. Any findings? Song Yu asked anxiously. Nothing, Meng Fei admitted. There's no discernible cause of death for any of these individuals. No injuries, and even their soul power and Do Qi are untouched. It seems this purple crystal palace is far more dangerous than we imagined. At this moment, many strong individuals slightly paused in their steps. Clearly, in the face of death and overwhelming temptation, they maintained a sliver of rationality. Perhaps I can give it a try. Just as the crowd was puzzled and at a loss, a graceful woman suddenly appeared before them. Holding an oiled paper umbrella, she looked as if she had stepped right out of a painting, with her cascading black hair, an oval face, and a gently prominent nose lending her an elegant air. Her figure was delicate enough to seem almost fragile. A member of Heartless Valley? Hong Qian suddenly spoke. Heartless Valley? As Hong Qian spoke, others' gazes instantly turned to the woman. It's said the disciples of Heartless Valley number only a handful, and aren't they all supposed to be dispassionate people? Why would they get involved in something like this? Some of the strong individuals couldn't help but question internally. It was understandable since, to join Heartless Valley, one had to embrace absolute indifference, forsaking all emotions and desires. Only then could they practice the highest skills of Heartless Valley, inevitably losing their emotions and desires upon entry. The woman gently folded her oiled paper umbrella and quietly approached the mysterious figures who had died. In front of everyone, she delicately took out a pair of white gloves, putting them on before she began to examine the cause of their deaths. This person isn't just putting on a show, Is she? Meng Fei's face darkened, clearly doubting that, even as a member of Pill Valley, he couldn't determine the cause. He naturally didn't believe this woman could. Strange. The condition of these bodies. Bing Shui from Heartless Valley murmured to herself. Appropriately named, she was as cold and indifferent as flowing water. Stop wasting time. I've already checked. These deaths are odd, and you won't be able to figure it out. Meng Fei, with his pride, stated bluntly. Upon hearing this, Bing Shui didn't even look at Meng Fei, evidently not taking him seriously. Silence! Song Yu bellowed. Humph! Hearing this, Meng Fei finally quieted down. With the surroundings silent, Bing Shui continued her examination of the mysterious deaths. However, what puzzled her was the complete lack of visible injuries on the bodies. Could it be internal injuries? Bing Shui shook her head, slowly probing the bodies further, and soon, she found the answer. What is this? Bing Shui gasped slightly upon seeing the mysterious scars on the heart area of one of the deceased. This? In the next moment, Song Yu and several other strong characters also noticed the anomaly and gathered around. Such subtle marks might have gone unnoticed without careful observation. Thanks to Miss Bing Shui, Song Yu remarked, clearly pleased at finding the potential cause of death. Don't celebrate too soon. This matter may not be so simple. Bing Shui remained calm, sensing that beyond the tiny scar leading to the heart, there was something else. She reached into the chest of the deceased, undeterred by the outcry it would cause. Heartless Valley people, isn't this too much? Even in death, you disturb their bodies. They won't let you go even as spirits. I've heard how cold-hearted Heartless Valley people are, and today confirms it. It's chilling. Some couldn't help but comment. Are you done talking? Bing Shui asked calmly amidst the criticism. You. The commenters showed anger. If I don't examine his body, you'll never know the cause of death. As for leaving a whole corpse for sanctity, find someone else to do that, Bing Shui retorted, proceeding with her examination. What is this? The next moment, Meng Fei's expression turned peculiar, his eyes fixated on what was revealed in the man's chest, as if he had seen something shocking. Soul Force perception isn't always accurate, Bing Shui remarked softly. What is that? Song Yu stepped forward, observing the mysterious black substance flowing within the man's chest, and questioned. This person's heart was likely stolen by a mysterious creature from within the palace. As for the black substance, it's probably a poison to mask the heart's absence, which is why you couldn't detect it earlier. Forget it, these people. If they're dead, so be it. Bing Shui thought this as he gazed at the bizarre, heart-like object. How did you discover it? Meng Fei asked defiantly. I have my own methods, Bing Shui replied succinctly, then fell silent. What should we do next? Song Yu asked promptly. Let's go in. I can sense that for a powerhouse at the 7-star Do D level, whatever's inside won't be lethal with a single strike, Bing Shui remarked, standing up slightly and casting a thoughtful glance at the crowd. A powerhouse at the 7-star Do D level, huh? There aren't many like that among us. Everything always ends up in your hands. I'm not convinced. I can't believe it. Among the crowd, some strong individuals at the late 6-star Do D level voiced their discontent, and moments later, they disregarded the mysterious deaths and plunged into the palace entrance. However, what awaited them was exactly the same fate as those who had died earlier. Now do you believe it? Bing Shui made no move to stop them. After all, if one's strength is insufficient, no blame can be placed on others. Should we take a look inside? Hua Lixin said apprehensively, fearing what lay within. Wait a minute. It's best to deal with this black stuff first. Just as everyone was about to make a move, a familiar voice spoke softly. It was none other than Xiao Yin and his group, among whom were Gu and I and Xie Xinglong, although the latter two appeared rather haggard. Xiao Yin? Don't go making trouble, Meng Fei snorted coldly upon seeing him. This black thing needs to be dealt with quickly. Xiao Yin ignored Meng Fei and approached Bing Shui. Are you trying to play this saint? Bing Shui was slightly taken aback by Xiao Yin's sudden intervention. A saint? Not quite. I just want to avoid fighting battles on two fronts once we're inside the palace, Isn't that right, Bing Shui of Heartless Valley? Xiao Yin finished with a slight smile. Suit yourself. Anyway, anyone here without 7-star Do D strength is doomed. And that includes your people, Bing Shui said with an odd expression. Not necessarily, Xiao Yin replied, smiling faintly as a silver-light mouse appeared in his hand. As it whispered something, the few men who had died moments ago revived. Damn it! How did these guys come back to life? And their strength? It suddenly jumped up a level. The crowd was filled with terror. Those men had been at about the late 6-star Do D level before their death, but now revived, they had elevated a tier, likely making them capable of sweeping through all the strong individuals gathered here. Explode, Xiao Yin calmly uttered, and instantly, the revived men's hearts revealed black objects that Xiao Yin detonated using his flame powers. Now we can go in, Xiao Yin said with a smile to his group after finishing the task. You got me there, Bing Shui remarked, shaking his head slightly but saying nothing further.